Just joining in today is Bookmas Day 4, where I talk about my favorite YA debuts. I've read a couple of debuts this year. I didn't read a lot that are from specifically published this year, but I've read a couple that were published before 2018. So I thought I'd talk about some of my favorites that I've read. I literally had to check in the author's biography to see which ones were their debuts, so I know myself, and I found a couple that I've really enjoyed, so let's get started. I also want to apologize that my thumbnail has my long hair and then I clearly cut it off. I know it's weird to have it cut in a winter time, but I just miss my short hair, so I'm gonna deal with that. So again, I'm sorry for my thumbnail that showed my long hair, but then I end up having to cut. It was because I was about to film, and then my family, my mom and my sister and I went to get our haircuts. So again, let's get started. These are no particular order, but the first one I want to talk about is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I've talked about this book a lot on my channel, and this is one of the first books that I've read this year, and I really end up enjoying it. And I haven't read Daughter of the Siren Queen yet, but I did not know this was a debut at all. I thought Trisha Levenseller has written a lot of books before this one, but it really surprised me because as I was reading it, it felt like she wrote a lot of books before this one. So yeah, and I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to read more Trisha Levenseller's books. Not only like the sequel to this one, but she has another one coming out next year, which is a Viking story, which I'm really excited about, and I really want to read it. Next one I want to talk about is Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. I did not know there was a debut either, and of course it is her debut author, and I know this is a debut book. This is her debut novel, and of course it's a circus book like Caravallis, and I really like Daughter of the Pirate King, or I know I really enjoyed Daughter of the Burning City. I've read this on audiobook, and it was really interesting to read, especially when you know, like, this is a mystery fantasy novel where this girl who creates illusions that are so real that they end up getting murdered. So it was a really interesting read, and I really enjoy it, and I really want to read Ace of Shades so badly, and I know the sequel is coming out next year, and I'm like still kicking my butt for not reading it. So I still enjoy Daughter of the Burning City, and I want to read Ace of Shades by her. Next book I want to talk about is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. This is actually her debut novel, and it came out this year, and yeah, this is her debut, I think, and if I'm wrong, sorry about that, but I've read this within 3 days, and I end up loving it so much. And it's basically Hocus Pocus meets practical magic, and I end up really enjoying it because I like the mysterious elements to it. It involves with ghosts of the witches, and I really drawn into the story more, and plus it's like 300 pages, and I've read it within 3 days, and I just could not put it down because I really enjoyed it. Plus the cover is beautiful, and so is the underjacket, and I just needed to get this book. Not only it was my most anticipated releases of this year, and I actually got to read it, and I'm really happy about that because I really enjoyed it. Another book I want to talk about that is definitely a debut novel is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. It really feels like she read multiple novels before she wrote this, and I seriously was surprised how much I liked it so much, and I could not, this is another book that I read within 3 days, and it was during the Fairy Tale-a-thon, and it was our group book. I could not put this down. Glad that I decided to pick up the group book before the other books, because I thought, like, if we were gonna do a live show, I gotta start with the group book. So I love this book so much, and I cried at the end. And if you guys want to read this, please prepare with tissues because I cried after reading it, and you guys are gonna need it. So, and I know I saw the ending coming, but I still cried at the end. The next one really surprised me because I did not know it was a debut novel, which is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I literally decided to pick this up because Haley from Haley and Bookland talked about it so much, and she read the first 2 books last year, and it really caught my interest, and I end up loving it. I just could not put it down, and I love the characters, and I love the mystery, the adrenaline rush as I was reading it. I want to read Hunting Prince Dracula really bad after this, after I've read this, and I just end up really loving it. This really surprised me because from the cover of it, it looks like a horror book, but after reading it, it was a historical mystery horror novel, and I really enjoy it, and it includes photographs in this book, which is really amazing, and it's like I'm following along with the story. See here, it includes photographs. I did not know I was gonna love this book as much as I did, and again, I want to read the sequel so badly because I want to know what happens. The last one I'm going to be talking about, which is another surprise that I did not know this was her, which is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, was Cinder, is the very first book. I literally thought she wrote other books before she wrote this one, and I really enjoyed the Lunar Chronicles. I haven't read Stars Above yet, but I was like, it's like a companion novel with short stories that's from other fairy tales that are into sci-fi genre. I love the Lunar Chronicles so much. I'm so happy that I marathoned this series this year because I did not know I was going to like it as much as I did this year, and this is definitely in my top picks for 2018 because I really enjoyed it so much, and I'm really happy that I marathoned the whole series. So that's all for all the YA debuts that I've read this year. I know some that I only read 2 that came out this year. I just have trouble keeping up with the 2018 releases, especially like when I'm not in a mood for it, but I'm hoping to get to those next year. But if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below some debut novels that you've read this year that I should pick up because, again, I need to catch up on the YA debuts, especially the ones that released this year, because I have not kept up with my TBR lately, especially like it keeps continuing to grow, and I'm literally trying to cut back on buying books because of how big my TBR is. It's like at 200. So that's why I'm like, I need to try to lower my TBR before I start getting other novels. But if you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook under Last Reader, and I have Twitter and Instagram on LastReader19. I also have Goodreads, which I'll link down below. If you don't want to miss any of my new videos, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!